All right, good morning. Next day. Day, I don't know, 400 of this project. Uh, are we in Camerata zone? A little bit. For the amount of torque that I gotta torque on this, I don't have any vice table to, I don't know, hold that tension, torsion, if you will. So I rigged this up. Tractor shouldn't go anywhere. What I want to do, what I have to do here, we're working on the actual thumb portion of it today. We got to make a couple bends. This one, I tried. It's not too bad. I'm not super happy with it, but it's fine for now. This one, I'm going to change tactics. That other tactic was a loser. So this one, we're actually going to bend this one. We're going to put some heat on it. We're going to bend it here. We're going to heat it here. I drew a little jig here roughly to where I want to be. I wanted my first bend here, my second bend here. These are my final dimensions here and here, 8 inches and then 6 inches. So I've marked it up on the plate here, and I'm going to heat it, bend it, hopefully. I'm using this piece of angle kind of like a brake here so that it bends somewhat square. I don't know how this is going to go. This crap was really expensive. I hope it goes well. As far as weakening the AR400, I do have a bucket of used oil because of course I do, and obviously for safety, in case this thing goes pear-shaped, I have a couple of fire extinguishers because, you know, 1 is none and 2 is 1. Hopefully we don't need any of those. Fingers crossed. I went and got a torch and made this bend. Let's go back. I'm gonna go back and heat this side up here. I'm gonna try to straighten out. I'm not gonna go crazy, but I'm gonna try to straighten out this first bend that I did. Kind of hard to see the soot. Hey, no fire. Wasn't that hot. Where are we at here? So we're just a little bit off. I would say, oh, 1/8 or so. So we're on the line there, and we go up. Yeah, it's more than 1/8. So I'm gonna heat this up again and bend this back. motherfucker. Nope. Well, I mean, for mass metal removal, works great. Took the inch that I wanted to take off, so it's disgusting, but I could just get the grinder to clean that up. The grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. Fun though. It's fun. I don't know what you're doing, but it's fun. Alright, that's at least in the neighborhood. Man, the guys on YouTube make that look so easy, huh? Alright, so where are we at now? We're at the fit and trim portion, I guess you would call it. I welded this top gusset, this top plate on to the arms. I welded the bigger of the drop tubes in to check out my fitment on the, there. I did not do this. This is what I was saying at the end of yesterday's video. I think I screwed up with the holes. I think I went a little hole crazy because I have my replacement pin in, again, just for fitment, and I'm able to, the thumb's able to slide above the dipper stick here. So I'm happy with that, but that's why I didn't punch this hole here for this support. Just field engineering, you know? I'm happy with this though. That works. I'm being super anal. I've got the laser lined up so that I match the teeth up. Wonderful. So the last thing that I did while the camera was away, I'm sure I missed some steps in there, was I did make a new pin here. I cut this, what is this, 4140? I cut the pin to length here so that I have a little bit of slop back and forth. A little bit of slop back and forth, a little bit of room for it to grow and move. Over here, I used the same stock bolt here and just drilled it right through. This was actually super easy. I was actually really concerned about getting this pin to line up, getting this pin here to line up with the existing bucket and bucket hole. But what I ended up doing was chucking up in the vise the old pin so that I was able to get my dimensions right, left to right, and just punch straight through this way. And even for being 4140, it drilled pretty nice. It drilled pretty easy. Actually, it was harder to cut it. I had to cut it with the porta-band because that was the only bandsaw I had left to cut at a slow enough speed to get through it. A ton of cutting oil and the porta-band going nice and slow did end up cutting through it. So ended up working out really well overall. I mean, obviously I need paint, but it works. I did my spacing here enough so that, I don't know if I'll be able to show it. I don't squeeze the wings of the dipper stick in. That spacer that I had welded on here is of perfect dimensions across. This one, I came up a little bit short, so I just got to go to the store and get additional washers for the outside. But this thing was put into service. Obviously, I didn't get to paint it. Unfortunately, we had a couple of incidents here on the homestead that I had to put it into service a little prematurely, and I'll throw a clip in here. So as you see, I immediately had to put it into service. There was no testing and trying out. I did squeeze it a couple times, and then we had a tree go down in the chicken area that I had to use it and lift the stuff out. Worked perfectly well. I'm very happy with it. I ended up saving some money along the way doing it myself. Even with the consumables, a couple of bandsaw blades and a couple of drill bits. But overall, used existing tools that I had here. It was a lot of fun to do, and despite the old crafting saying, I did end up coming up under budget. I did come in less than the $400, and even with all the other things going on, I definitely made it in less than 4 weeks, working on it a little bit at a time. I know I didn't show everything. It's not a fabrication channel, and I know it's not done because I still have to paint it. If I had to do it all over again, what would I do different? I don't know if I would use AR400. Not for the material portion of it, because that's obviously, you know, good stuff. It made it really difficult to work with. I should have known that going in. I mean, I kind of did know that going in, but it was a bear on a lot of the consumables. I don't know how many saw blades I went through. I think I went through 2 bandsaw blades, a carbide blade. I don't know how many cutoff wheels. But really that porta-band with the slow speed really worked well, so it just goes to show you the right tool for the right material. If I had a, you know, horizontal bandsaw blade, metal blade, it probably would have worked out in my favor a little bit more, but otherwise no big deal. Also, the other thing that I would have done is differently is instead of getting overzealous with the drill press on the down tube of the nesting portion, right right over here. I wouldn't have pre-drilled those. I would have put them on the machine and then got my positions and drilled those, you know, where they actually made sense, as opposed to putting them in mathematically. Not that big of a deal. Like you saw, I used it in a typical application. It totally worked. The parking position is right and good. So, I mean, those are like the big things. Outside of that, I'm super happy. I liked doing stuff like this. Sure, could we just go and swipe and go get a new one? Yeah, of course. It would have been a lot easier. It still wouldn't have been here yet. This video has taken quite a long time to make, but it still beat the estimated ship time from BX Banded, so we did beat them there. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave any comments, but try not to beat me up too badly. I'm not a fabricator or a welder or anything. Down in the comment section. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.